Hello and welcome to Small Town Big Screen. I'm one of your hosts, Manny Manuel.
I'm Kyle Robertson.
Today, we are reviewing the film Bulletproof.
Yeah.
Which was released on August 19th, 2022. Directed by James Clayton. Written by, I might get this name wrong, Cooper Bebeau?
I think, yeah.
Let's go with that. Danny Mac and James Clayton. Starring Vinnie Jones, Lena Lecomte, and James Clayton. This film did not have a Metascore, as not enough people reviewed it to give it a Metascore. It got a 2.6 on Letterboxd.
It's a little
low. It got a couple nominations at the Leo Awards.
Mm-hmm.
It was up for Best Supporting Actor by a Male in a Motion Picture. Supporting Performance, did I say that?
I think so.
Let's try again.
Yeah.
In the Leo Awards, it got nominated for Best Supporting Performance by a Male in a Motion Picture for Danny Mac, Best Lead Performance by a Female in a Motion Picture for Lena Lecomte, and Best Sound in a Motion Picture. It was filmed in Ashcroft and Cache Creek, so that's 40 minutes from here?
Yeah.
Not even?
Barely.
Roughly?
Yeah.
Sweet. And the plot, after stealing millions in cash from the drug hiding place of the sadistic mafia boss Temple, a thief finds a stowaway passenger in his getaway car.
Okay.
Kyle, why don't you share your spoiler-free thoughts on Bulletproof?
Yeah, my spoiler-free thoughts. I had a lot of fun with this, and for those very attuned listeners, you'll see the next episode is a second installment in this series of films. I have a good time with this whole idea that they're running with, and this kind of franchise that they're starting. And it all starts here with Bulletproof. We get it all based kind of on the back of Vinnie Jones as our leading villain. The stunt work is really good. The idea is there. I think there's like maybe some growing pains in the first film of like, it's not as comfortable, in itself, and maybe there's some like ends that don't quite fit together, and etc. But I still had a good time. I think that you could see that a lot of people really cared on this movie, and it was a lot of fun. Yeah. How about you, Manny?
I went in dreading this movie. I went in expecting this to be another garbage movie that I was going to have to endure for this podcast. And I was pleasantly surprised. I had a really good time with this.
Nice.
It was pretty early on that I found myself enjoying it, which shocked me. I was like, oh my God, I'm having fun. This is nice, which made me invest a little bit more. The fight choreography is really good for such a lower budget film, and that was something that I found really impressive. The stunt work that they did was fun and exciting, again, for what they were working with. And I don't mean to denigrate it in that. It's just that if somebody is watching this and decides, oh, I'm going to watch this expecting to see like Mission Impossible, you're going to be sorely disappointed. Mm-hmm. But if you go in knowing that these people have a much lower budget than the majority of films out there, and you see what they did with it and the passion that they had into it, I think you're going to have a pretty good time. Mm-hmm. So I found myself enjoying this a lot more than I was anticipating, which made me enjoy it even more. Because sadly, my expectations were really low. James Clayton as the lead, as Thief, was really great. I don't know the name of the actor who played the Frenchman. He was one of my favorite things about the movie. I had a really good time with it. And like I said, the action set pieces were really well done. And so kudos to their stunt choreographer, their action choreographer, their fight choreographer, and the director. They did a really good job. I had a really good time with this.
Nice.
Yeah.
Glad to hear it.
All right, so let's get into our 5 favorite things. I'll start us off.
Okay.
My number 5 is a quote from The Frenchman.
Ooh.
And the quote is, "Let's have some fun."
Nice.
And it's the way it's delivered that just kind of gave me like this little bit of excitement, as it's someone that is so confident in their abilities that he knows he's going to kick some butt.
Yeah.
And it was really fun to watch this actor perform this action throughout the film. And his delivery of this line was a joyful moment for me.
Nice.
That's my number 5.
Yeah, it's a good scene. I think one of the things that sticks out is kind of the cinematography with the fight choreography, and in that particular scene, it's really good. They found a good, beautiful location, and it made it all work very nicely.
Yep.
Yeah. So my number 5.
Yeah.
My number 5 is a song.
A song.
Yeah, it's only in for a little bit. I don't know if you'll know it, but for me, out of nowhere, came a song that I thought would be above the budget of this movie. And it was not, and that was La 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 by Y2K and Baby No Money.
I have no idea who that is.
Yeah, I didn't think you would, but it's a song I really enjoy. It's an artist I really enjoy, mainly. I think it's one of those songs that got so big that he doesn't like doing it anymore.
Okay.
But it
He's
exploded.
too cool for his own music?
It's not that he's too cool, it's that a lot of people have to perform the same song over and over and over again. And Baby No Money in particular, is an artist that puts out a lot of music.
Okay.
So he has a large catalog to choose from.
Gotcha.
But anyway, I heard the song. I liked it. And they use it diegetically, which was kind of fun.
Mm-hmm.
They used it to kind of transition some scenes. It was used in a creative way. It wasn't just like thrown in because it's a good song. It was interesting. And it made me smile. It was also like, I wouldn't expect anybody in that movie, in the creative team, to be like, oh yeah, Baby No Money, that's the music we need for this movie. So it caught me off guard, but I liked it.
Nice.
It was a good off guard.
Sweet.
Yeah.
My number 4 is another quote.
Okay.
One that gave me a legitimate laugh.
Nice.
It's when the thief is talking to the police officers and he makes a comment about his arm injury. And he says, I've taken a dart. It was at your house.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. Legitimate laugh out loud moment for me.
Yeah.
It kind of caught me off guard. I wasn't anticipating such a funny line and a great delivery.
Yeah.
Again, don't know who that actor was because I'm almost positive that's the only scene those cops are in.
No, they come back for one scene. His name is
Right.
Matthew Graham.
Oh,
I
nice.
believe. I know him.
Really?
Yeah, a little bit, just a little bit. So he was the lead actor on Outrunners, which is the first film I ever worked on. Super chill dude, very funny.
Sweet.
He does a lot of commercials, like big commercials.
Oh, really?
So, yeah, I see him on TV all the time.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah. So his delivery of that line is my number 4.
Nice. Yeah. I think I've ran into him 4 times now. I just keep seeing him in random places in public.
Nice.
And then we chat for a second. He's really nice.
Sweet.
Yeah. Anyway, so my number 4.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed. It's kind of a joke, but it happens twice. There's a guy right at the beginning of the film who surrenders, and the thief shoots at his feet a bunch of times. I really liked that guy's character. I did not remember his name, but he comes back and then just gets shot point blank, one bullet, in the next scene he's in.
By Temple.
No, by the thief.
By the thief.
Yeah. So he, but that Temple did do that to somebody though.
That's right.
So yeah, I thought it was funny that they went to the effort of the thief sparing this guy's life just to kill him in his next scene. I thought that was pretty funny.
Nice.
Yeah.
My number 3 is the Frenchman versus the thief final fight.
Nice.
Was really, and again, it sounds like a bad thing, but it was shocking to me at how good it was.
Mm.
Again, my expectations of this film were so low, so anytime something was done very well, it was a nice surprise.
Yeah.
Considering some of the other films that we've had to review. Anyways, so their fight choreography was really well done.
Yeah.
The actors both pulled it off exceptionally well. I found myself engaged in their fight, and I had a really good time watching these two skilled actors go tete-a-tete.
Yeah. That one was really funny when, right at the start, they're lining up, and then the thief goes to run, and he gets squished in that car door.
Yes.
Immediately, I knew that. I was like, this is going to be a good fight. Yeah, that one was a lot of fun. So my number 3 is kind of related. I picked the stunt work overall.
Nice.
Yeah, I thought the fight choreo was really well done, and then all of the falls and throws and all of that worked out really well. I just thought they did a really good job of it, especially at a budget, like a lower budget. You sometimes expect lower budget films not to like cheap out on stunts, but to use workarounds to get around just showing good fight choreo. And they didn't do that. It was really, really well done.
Sweet. My number 2 is one of the ones I'm always excited about. It was the BC license plates all over the place.
Nice.
And while I understand the reason for it is that they probably didn't have the budget to remove license plates and make fake ones, I don't care. It did not take me out of the movie. It made me happy. I was just so happy to see our license plates on all the vehicles.
Yeah.
It's silly and ridiculous. Don't care. I love seeing the BC license plates throughout the film.
Nice.
Yeah.
We're going to circle back to that later on.
Sweet.
So my number 2, I really enjoyed the Leo nominated. I was trying to remember the award show. So the Leo nominated Danny Mac performance as Skinny. I thought he was a ton of fun. He perfectly embodies that like psychopath kind of persona, but because I've seen this movie twice now. The second time, it didn't come across as just psychopathic. It was almost like he was like so attracted to the violence in some scenes, and then also like really holds Temple in this like incredibly high regard. So he's trying to impress Temple, who is obviously an incredibly violent person. So I really enjoyed the performance, and I found different pieces of it on the second watch through, which I really enjoyed. That's a sign of a good performance for me.
Nice.
Yeah.
My number 1.
I'm
almost a running theme.
Yeah.
It's the Frenchman.
Nice.
It's his introduction scene.
Yeah.
Where he takes out the 3 guys. It's really well done. It shows that this is a man to be reckoned with.
Yeah.
That he is someone for us to fear, and for it ups the tension knowing that eventually the thief is going to have to deal with this guy.
Yeah.
I like that he's not a psychopath and that he's just cold and calculated. But I love it when they have a badass moment, and when he puts up the finger to make them wait for a second. Absolutely loved it. So the Frenchman's intro, my number 1.
Nice. Very good number 1.
Yeah.
My number 1. This is a weird thing for me to have as my number 1, but it made it. It's the wire brush tattoo removal.
Right.
That was just so brutal to watch.
Yes.
I was really impressed with how creative a character moment it is, and then just also how brutal it is in a torture scene. Like, that's the kind of thing. Like, it's just weird that it wasn't something that's been done already.
Yep.
So I was impressed with that. And yeah, it looks painful.
It's always good to see something new.
Yeah.
When it comes to torture.
Oh yeah. You gotta be varied in your torture interests.
Thankfully, I haven't watched a lot of the Saw films, so
Yeah.
I'm still pretty fresh to torture stuff.
Yeah, well, this wire brush thing had me flinching. So,
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right, that's our top 5s.
That is our top 5.
Sweet list.
All right, Manny. Let's hit the reverse.
What we didn't like.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This is actually just a minor complaint.
Yeah.
It's the way that the thief goaded Temple at the end of the film. The way he goaded Temple into kind of overreacting so our guy wins.
Yeah.
I found it to be a little cheesy and unbelievable.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, you have to suspend your disbelief for films and like that, but this was just it for a movie that I was having so much fun watching and enjoying. I found this to be incredibly weak, and so it's actually the weakest part of the film for me.
Fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree. It's not my weakest part though. My weakest part was just that there's like a couple of things and moments that felt like they could have been really good like cutaways or one-liners that just didn't work.
Yep.
There's like a small handful of them throughout the film that they don't just not work, but they didn't work so much that it kind of like took me out a little bit. I think it just comes down to like, this was obviously a low budget effort and a lot of people are wearing a lot of hats. I think like there were just some things that might have gotten lost in the finer cracks that would have connected better.
Yep.
But it ultimately didn't take me out that much. But yeah, that was my weakest link.
All right. I can respect that. Okay. Next up,
we're going to take a peek behind the curtain. Welcome again to A Peek Behind the Curtain. We are joined by Terri Hadwin, longtime friend of the podcast. So thank you for joining us here. So we're talking to you about Bulletproof today. So can you let us know a little bit about your role with Bulletproof?
So I'm the Thompson-Nicola Film Commissioner, and Bulletproof was filmed in our region before my time. So just before. And I got to know the team, the producers and such with the sequel that came afterwards. So Bulletproof was filmed largely around Cache Creek and Logan Lake. And that's an area that I'm super familiar with. I used to live in Ashcroft, so it was one of those, Leonardo DiCaprio moments. Like, I know where that is. And so that was kind of like my involvement with Bulletproof. Most of my involvement came after the fact. But
Nice.
yes, still a fan of the movie.
Sweet.
Mm.
Yeah. What were your kind of initial impressions after watching the movie?
Yeah, I mean, it was funny because I think my first exposure to it, I had to watch it in French.
Oh, man.
Which I am not a fluent French speaker. And the first bits of the movie is actually, there isn't any talking. So I was like,
Yeah.
so I wasn't sure what to expect. And then they started speaking French, but then I was like looking for their lips and I was like, no, okay, this is not a French movie. It's definitely dubbed over. So I find that happens quite frequently with Crave.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Chronic
Oh.
issue.
It's so annoying. Am I right? Because I mean, you go on there and you're thinking you're going to get to watch a movie that's been filmed in the area. So many of our shows are on Crave. And yeah, you can watch them in French if that's your speed. And anyways, I did watch Bulletproof for the first time in French. I finally got it in English at one point. But yeah, my first exposure, because I wanted to see it so that I could talk to the producers about their works.
Yeah.
And that was my first exposure to Bulletproof.
Yeah. I had that same problem with Crave when I desperately wanted to watch Blackberry.
I knew you were going to say that.
Yeah.
I knew you were going to pull that one out.
I was desperate to watch this movie, and it was only in French on Crave for the longest time. And I actually started taking online French lessons with Duolingo to try and like see if I could get to a point where it would make sense. But I couldn't, first of all, and then second of all, I never like listening to dubs. Like it always like really messes with me for it to not match up. So no matter what the language, I try and listen in the original language.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they eventually put it on in English, and I was able to watch it, and I loved it. But
that's commitment. That
yeah,
is,
I was like, it was very short lived, but I was like, maybe I should try French again.
Good on you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I eventually got it in English and got to actually, understand what they were saying. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like is it Vinnie Jones?
Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah, I feel like I can't imagine him being a French speaker.
Well,
I'm
watch it
sure
on
he
Crave.
could.
You can-
Yeah. I'm sure he could pull it off, but he doesn't come to mind immediately as a French speaker for me.
No, it's true. Yeah.
But speaking of, what's it like when we get kind of like recognizable faces coming through with Vinnie Jones, and then later on in the sequel we got Lou Diamond Phillips, and I know Manny's a pretty big fan.
Lou Diamond Phillips is amazing. I mean, he is so handsome. Gosh, he's handsome. Vinny's not bad either, I suppose. But yeah, I mean, Lou Diamond Phillips holds up for sure. It's interesting. I don't work with the stars very much. Very, very, very little. The majority of the people that I work with are going to be the location managers, the producers, scouts.
Yeah.
Those are the people that I tend to work with the most. Every once in a while, I'll meet the cast, but it feels strange for me because I'm coming in meeting them while they're in the middle of their job. And it feels like I'm walking onto a construction site and tapping somebody on the shoulder that's operating a jackhammer. Like, they are in the middle of their craft, and when I'm coming to set, I try to stay as unobtrusive as I possibly can. I mean, there's probably going to be a day when, like, my dream star person comes and I'm going to be like, no, I actually have to have coffee with them or something. But,
And who is that?
I love Scarlett Johansson.
Nice.
I just think she's so talented and so beautiful and so lovely. And yeah, I think that would be probably somebody that I'd like to have coffee with. But not that I wouldn't want to have coffee with all of them. It's just I know that they're busy. Yeah. Yeah, I've met a few. Bana, he is so tall. Like, I know I am short, but I was like this, like, head all the way back to see his face. Like, it was kind of wild meeting him.
That's Eric Bana?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yeah.
You just watched a film with him.
I just watched Munich.
Okay.
He's the lead, yeah.
Yeah, he was
awesome.
Yeah.
he was here for Untamed. One episode
nice.
of Untamed.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I got to meet him, but yeah, it's just like I said, it's one of those things where I kind of just let them do their thing. Maybe I get to watch from behind the scenes and I'm quietly there, and then I quietly leave.
Do you think that kind of star power helps? Like you've mentioned before, that we don't have a lot of film fatigue here, and the general populace is pretty supportive of film. Do you think that star power kind of helps with that and helps keep people interested and not worn out?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. I do. I mean, like, I think I actually used this as a reference earlier today about some neighborhoods would be like, oh my gosh, Deadpool is filming here again, or whatever the case may be, and we're just like, wow, Ryan Reynolds. And we're elated and we're stoked when people like Chris Pratt talk about the sunset and I think that there's a lot of pride when we can see those folks in our neighborhoods and at the restaurants, and it's funny when people are like, I think that's so and so, and people are like, yeah, right, and then they look and they're like, no, you're right, that's so and so. So I would say that, yeah, I think anytime you get a star cast, it's going to help the film. And I think that it definitely helps with the film enthusiasm here. Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Was there, I know it was chosen before you were part of the TNRD and you kind of came on after. Was there an aspect of their choice of filming locations that really stood out to you?
Yeah, I think one of the big reasons why they came to the TNRD is the Cache Creek airstrip. It's very film friendly, very manageable, and they needed a lot of scenes that included the airplanes and stuff like that. So that was a driving factor for bringing them into the area, as well as the price point, as well as the tax credits. So I think that all of those were big driving forces for bringing them into our region.
Do you think that with a location such as that airport, in regards to, again, this was before you were on board, but because that was such a major part of that film, do you think because of that they kind of centralized the area? Like, we need this is kind of the climax of the film, so if we can get this, then we should continue filming around the area. Obviously, budget constraints are going to factor into that as well, but do you think with that's what led them to go kind of, that's their base, and they just kind of circled around that, maybe like a spiral, like we can do this scene, this here, and that's why they stayed so close.
Absolutely. I think that that's what happens the majority of the time is you want to move circus as infrequently as possible. Keep it all central, keep it all in one spot for as long as you possibly can. So definitely finding their key spots. And it's like that with every project. So it's either the very, very difficult to find locations or it's the locations that will consume the most amount of the script. It's one or the other. And then they will build around that. And then they'll try to get as much happening in one central spot as they possibly can.
Do you find that Kamloops is good for those kind of things? Do you find that we have, counts an area, the TNRD area, do you find that we have a good mix of everything for a film to kind of, with Bulletproof, it's not, they didn't need as much variety as say other movies do because it is almost kind of set within 1 or 2 days in a certain area. But do you think we have enough variety in our filming area where someone can do different scenes and different in the film itself, different areas of the world, but represented and filmed here?
100%. I mean, I think we have absolutely everything that you could possibly need in a 2 to 3 hour drive, or even closer of a radius around Kamloops as the nebulous. We've got grasslands, we've got forests, we've got lakes, we've got desert. We have, you could go and be snowboarding in some circumstances and then shoot a scene golfing in another, like depending on the season, but you absolutely could capture all of that within a very small area. So I think that does bode very well for us to attract film production. 100%.
Awesome.
Yeah.
We in the course of this podcast, we've seen a lot of different places in the world that Kamloops has played. Surprisingly, Ethiopia, that's one I never connected. Are there any places, I guess, or other countries that Canada plays that you find are more popular, or some that we absolutely could play that for some reason nobody has kind of made that connection yet?
I mean, we've doubled as so many different places. I think that if I was to create a bumper sticker, it might say the safest Afghanistan you'll ever shoot in. I think that we could double as just about anything, except I did have a production once reach out to me that was wanting Kamloops to double as Metropolis, New York, and I thought I was being punked. I was like, I'll show you what we've got, but I mean,
that's rough.
That's a tough ask.
Yeah, that was 2 hours out of my day where I was like, I don't know if this is being well spent, but I'll give it my good old heave-ho try. But we didn't land that one.
Oof.
I know,
Yeah.
weird. But I mean, we've been so many different locations. I mean, Wyoming, Texas, just so many.
California all the time.
It's funny with how much variety we actually have here in the TNRD area. Anytime I watch a movie or a show, I immediately think that was filmed here. Like the one I go to the most, it's one of my, it's a movie I absolutely love. It's called Wind River. And every time I watch it, I'm like, you will not convince me it wasn't filmed here. I know it wasn't. 100% I know it wasn't. But I watch it, I'm like, that is right down the road from me.
Yes.
It looks like this entire area, the entire film.
I have that experience every once in a while too, where I'm like, oh, that easily could have been here. Why didn't that land here? Or why didn't they know to reach out to me? I wish I could remember the name of the television series. It's like American. Oh, anyways.
Oh, Yellowstone with
no,
Costner?
it's a new
That one too.
That one too. That one I think actually did scout and look around here.
Ooh, that would have been a grab. Wow.
I think that it didn't land because they needed to bring so much cast and crew. And at that time, there wasn't enough accommodations that would suit it, unfortunately. So I think that's the rumor I've heard. I don't know if it's true or not. But
It's a big cast, so that does make sense.
Yeah. Too bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's the Hell on Wheels, I've always thought could be here too.
Absolutely. Yes. Yeah. I'm halfway through the last episode of Deadwood right now.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And I'm like, oh, that could have easily been here as well. Yeah. That one's a little bit older, but yeah. Yeah. I'm on the edge of my seat.
Nice.
Half an hour left.
Yeah. It's whenever someone shoots like indie movies that shoot in like rural California, they always trick me. I'm like, man, that looks exactly like Kamloops, like Duel.
Yeah.
Steven Spielberg's first film.
Yes.
It's like a car chase the whole movie where this like evil semi truck is just following this guy the whole movie, and it's all through like California grassland and there's like sagebrush. Totally could have been here.
Yeah, it looks like a lot of like out to like just basically between 7 on Cache Creek. It looks like that constantly.
Okay.
And you're watching, you're like, that's here.
That's here.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Blake Lively was just on a like an interview thing where the premise of the show, they were showing the actors screenshots from a film that they had done years in the past and asked them if they could remember where it was shot.
Oh, that's awesome.
Nice.
And so a scene from Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants came up, and she says, "Oh, that's Kamloops, Canada." And then like the girl looks on the back and she's like, "No," and she's like, Blake is like, "Yeah." So even the people that like put the game together actually had it incorrect. They thought that it was New Mexico, but it was Kamloops. So
Wow.
yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Nice.
Also, Kamloops, Canada is a great, like, not Kamloops, British Columbia, but Kamloops, Canada. Yeah, why not?
There
I
you
love
go.
it. Yeah.
Raise the importance a little bit.
Totally. Yeah. Yeah. So, we definitely double as things very easily. Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yeah. Could be Tuscany, could be Nevada. Yeah.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Bringing it back to Bulletproof, did they do any screenings here in town?
No, they didn't. No. With Get Fast, I just asked them, "Hey, do you want to? Do you
Nice.
wanna?" And they were like, "Yeah." So yeah, that's kind of how it all kind of came to be. Is you never know if you don't ask, and
Yeah.
they were into it. So
Awesome.
yeah, we brought most of the cast. Lou didn't come.
Fair enough.
But
Manny would have been there.
I would have been there.
It was funny because there was so much buzz on Facebook where we put a press release out that the premiere was happening at the Paramount so that people would be aware and come and check it out. And they could all have their Leonardo DiCaprio moments. But it was funny because I remember somebody saying, "Oh, Lou Diamond Phillips is in the area. He's filming something." And I'm like, "Well, that was months ago, guy." But I'm glad that you're enthusiastic, and I'll let you, stay in your dream world. But yeah, it's just kind of funny how Facebook stories, it becomes a game of telephone
Yeah.
so frequently and so often. But
Oh,
yeah.
Well, nice.
People are excited. That's
Yeah.
the main thing. Right?
Yes, exactly.
Sweet. I think that's all.
I'm good. Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah. Thank you again for joining us. And it's nice to have you on the podcast instead of just like a voice in the background helping us with everything. So helps put a face to the name for our viewers. And, if anyone ever needs anything from the Film Commission, Terri is amazing and your team is amazing. I've always had pleasant experiences. And I always come out of the interaction with a lot of help and advice. So really
Awesome.
appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. Anytime.
And thank
Awesome.
you for being here. And yeah, I guess with that, we'll throw it back to Kyle's cool facts. Welcome back, everybody, from a peek behind the curtain. And thank you very much to Terri Hadwin. We have had a lot of support from Terri over the years. So
Yeah.
it was nice to finally get Terri on the podcast.
It was.
And have a little chat.
Yeah. She was a lot of fun to talk to.
Oh, yeah. Our great film commissioner. So with that, Manny, it's now time for Kyle's cool facts.
That's my favorite part.
It's your favorite part, eh?
Yep.
Oh man, yeah. Imagine that the part that you don't have to do any work for.
Yes. It's a delight. It's a nice change of pace.
It's okay. Yeah, I like when you do it on the other podcast, but it is fun to once in a while be the one seeking out the facts. So to start right out the gate, let's bring back your license plate thing.
Okay.
So one IMDb reviewer, user, took the time out of their day to post in the goofs section of this film's IMDb. They said that this film is openly looking exactly like British Columbia and owns the British Columbia license plates, and yet lets their characters open carry, which in BC would result in a full tactical response. I just wanted to bring that up and include that because you, sir, cannot be fun at parties. Yeah, we love to occasionally go through and roast some people's letterboxed accounts that leave weird and
That's like
uninsightful, reverse insightful.
That's like what's his
comments.
name? Neil deGrasse Tyson ripping apart like Titanic, saying it's not right because the stars are wrong in the sky. Like, pump your brakes, buddy. It's okay.
Imagine all the money they could have made if the stars were right.
Right? Yeah. It's a movie.
Mm-hmm.
You can let it go.
Right? Especially in this one where it's like, it's established that not only are the cops like understaffed in this tiny small town, but they're like not very good at what they do anyway. They just get killed immediately. Anyway, yeah, I think you'll find this next one interesting. My second cool fact. Despite the poor critical reviews and initial audience ratings, this film took the #1 spot on Paramount Plus when it hit streaming in 18 countries.
What?
And hit #2 worldwide.
What?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Good for them.
This resulted in the swift green light for the sequel. So.
Oh, that rules.
Yeah.
That rules.
Pretty cool. Hey?
That makes me kind of happy.
Right?
That makes me pretty happy.
Of all of the films that we've talked about, this feels like the one that deserves it just because it's so indie and also like so fun for what they're doing. I think they earned it.
I concur.
So, moving on to my third cool fact. This film was entirely shot with practical effects. No CGI for this one.
What about the bullet strikes?
You can squib those.
Not on the people, like on the cars.
Listen, man, this is just what I found.
That's totally fine. I was all on board, but then I remember like there's so many times that the bullets hit cars and walls and stuff. The people I get, that's like squib work.
Yeah.
I'm a fan. You like squib work, watch RoboCop.
Yeah.
And, I think it still holds the record for one person with the most squibs.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And trust me, you won't have a hard time deciding who that is.
Nice.
But yeah, I do love that. And I could, other than the bullet strikes on the cars,
yeah,
because I remember seeing something, like a little flash.
Well, now that you've called me out, I do think you're right. And my source was probably wrong.
Oh.
But it's okay.
Yeah.
We stick with.
I'm not going to complain. Like, I like the bullet strikes.
Yeah.
I'd rather see those little flaks than nothing.
Me too. Yeah.
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 But everything else practical. Like, there's some good stunt work in here.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm happy for that.
Nice. Awesome. My last cool fact. I think you'll like this one too.
Okay.
So this film actually did have an office box run, or a box office run.
Wow.
Yeah. Only internationally. So they ran in Russia and the United Arab Emirates, and they made, let me just get the exact figure here, $83,441. And that's according to Box Office Mojo.
So that's roughly, depending on the price of ticket, 8,000 people went and saw it?
Yeah. Roundabouts.
Okay.
That's not bad.
It's not too bad.
When you look up the poster for I think this film and for the sequel, there are like Russian, like Cyrillic alphabet posters that are available, and that's probably why I think this became unexpectedly popular in those two countries.
I want to hear the Russian dub of a Russian guy with a French accent. No, it'd be a French guy speaking Russian with a French accent. That's what I'm looking for, right? Because he's French, so he's speaking English with a French accent. So I want him speaking Russian with a French accent.
I mean, the other question is he Quebecois? So are we doing a Quebecois accent on a Russian person, or a Quebecois person doing a
Was
Russian
there a
accent.
Russian dub, or did they must have just subtitled it,
You'd think, right?
right?
Who knows?
I don't know.
Who knows?
I might actually look.
When you're making $83,000, you could maybe do a dub.
Could you? Could
Probably
you?
not. Anyway,
It'd be like John Malkovich in Rounders Russian.
yeah.
Pay that man his money.
I still love that accent.
Yeah, it rules. Anyways, go ahead.
The final cool fact, this film had an alternate title, which was Death Pursuit. I believe that probably got nixed due to closeness with other films. Granted, Bulletproof is already close to an Adam Sandler movie.
Yeah, Adam
Yeah.
Sandler and Damon Wayans, and it
Right.
is in my top 10 worst films of all time.
Wow.
Yeah.
Great. So the only difference is the space.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
This film has a space between Bullet and Proof.
Correct.
Right.
Correct.
Okay.
For a long time, like the 4 worst movies I've ever seen all started with the letter B.
Wow.
Yeah.
Intriguing.
Batman and Robin.
Yeah.
Barbed Wire. That's a
Okay.
Pamela Anderson film.
Okay.
Not good.
Okay.
Bulletproof.
Yeah.
And this movie called Bad Girls with Drew Barrymore, Madeline Stowe. I'm pretty sure it's Mary Elizabeth. No, it's not Mary Elizabeth Master Antonio. I'm not going to get the other 2. It's going to bug me now. Ooh. Oh. She is in Andy McDowell. And I'm not going to get the 4th, and that's going to bug me for the rest of the night. That movie sucks.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I take it your list now has non-letter B films.
Yeah. Yeah. The Flash.
Okay.
Oh, wait. I think it actually expanded to another B. Can I quickly look? No,
Yeah.
that would spoil our podcast. Never mind.
What are we reviewing? Anyway. What have we? Oh, it's a past review.
No, it's coming in a few months where we have to reveal our worst film of the year
Okay.
for our Sampas.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Almost positive that it begins with the letter B.
All right. And that's my cool facts.
Loved it.
For this one.
Loved it.
So we get to move on to the local impact of
Mhm.
this film. So this was mostly, but not majority, shot in the TNRD.
Yep.
But definitely the vast majority, and it comes through. You can see it. Like I spent a really weird amount of time in like Ashcroft and Cache Creek the last like 4 or 5 months, and you can really see that they were in that area for sure. It comes through.
Yeah.
The vibes of both places. Especially like the hills and the grasslands and all that. It looks great. So yeah, it's always nice when a film will choose. A lot of places come here. We talk about movies like 2012 or
Jurassic.
Jurassic Night at the Museum, where they're only here for like a few scenes. That's obviously great, and we love that as well. But it's
Totally.
nice. It's nice to see a full or mostly full movie here. It really cracks a smile for me. Nice.
Heck yeah.
So number 2, the motel scenes were shot at Tumbleweed Motel in Cache Creek.
Oh,
Yeah, I drove by it a lot.
never
So,
been there.
Yeah, I was definitely like,
The Tumbleweed. I've obviously been to Cache Creek.
yeah. Got to get the the tacos in Cache Creek.
Never had them.
Me neither. I've heard that's the thing to do, but I heard it after the last time I was there. So
Oh.
now I have to make a trip. It'll happen one day.
Okay.
But, yeah.
If they had a golf course near there, then maybe I'd make it a trip, but otherwise not going to happen.
You could do like just double Tobiano and then come back.
Tobiano. Wow. Okay.
Some scenes were also shot at I'm going to say that in air quotes.
Okay.
I think they were on the street in front of the fields in Ashcroft.
All right.
The store.
Yep.
Yeah. I believe that was the shootout between the cops and
Yep.
and all that. Yeah.
It's still fields? Like to this day?
I believe so.
Really?
What I can say,
Okay.
this morning when I looked on Apple's Street View equivalent,
Yes.
it's still pictured a fields.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's surprising.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's all I got.
All right. I love it.
There are a few fields around. That's real. Just maybe I can't confirm that one with my own 2 eyes and firsthand experience.
But Fields as a company still exists?
Either yes, or they're all independently owned now, similar
Okay.
to Toys R Us. I don't know.
All right.
Yeah,
Interesting.
who knows?
Let's find out. Just kidding.
Yeah, there will be like a little lower thirds here explaining the whole thing.
Oh, yeah. Brent, put it on the bottom. Tell us if Fields still exists as a company. Please. Right here. Right. Or will it go this way? Go this way, right? This
Yeah.
way. Like this. You got it? Thanks, buddy.
He loves us. And my last local impact fact, this film screened at the Ashcroft Town Hall.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, as a little thank you to the community.
Oh,
I love that kind of stuff.
me too.
Yeah. So that made me happy.
Did anybody show up? Probably not.
Probably.
No, I don't mean like
Oh, okay. I was
from
like,
the movie.
you think-
that was mean. That definitely sounded mean. I did not. I actually meant, did somebody from the movie show up? Is what I meant.
the entire population of Ashcroft was so mad about this movie that they just no-showed.
They just boycotted it.
I'm going to step out on a limb and say that actually there probably were people there
Oh,
because James Clayton, being director, lead actor, producer, writer, that I think he was likely there. I'm pretty sure he also lives in BC-ish.
What? Really?
I think so.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. And then Danny Mac and I can't remember her name, the other lady.
Oh, Leah Lacombe?
Lulu, yeah.
That's
So,
it.
what was her name again? Lulu?
Lena.
Lena. So Danny Mac and Lena Lacombe being nominated for Leos. I believe you have to be a BC resident
Oh.
for that as well.
Okay.
But I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it's BC residents because, yeah, I don't know.
All right.
I'm not sure if it's BC residents or just a performance in a BC film.
Okay.
Anyway, maybe another lower thirds for that. We'll see. Regardless,
Just to give you options. Just saying.
a little choice never hurt.
Whichever one works for you, Brent.
We love our editor. So that concludes my local impact.
I love it
for this one. Yeah. I had a really good time with this.
Me
So
too.
let's hit this one with some closing thoughts, Manny.
Well, why don't we rate it first? Oh, no.
Okay.
Closing thoughts. You're right.
Yeah. What are you trying to do here? Switch up the vibe.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Closing thoughts. I had a good time with this. I think that they've created a really fun world. I think they bit off a lot, and they couldn't chew it all, but they got like 90% of the way there on this film. I had a lot of fun. They have really, I think what this movie and the franchise excels at is their characters. They're really good. They did a really good job overall. Writing and creating interesting characters that are fun to watch, and then they put them in an action movie. So, yeah, I enjoyed it. How about you, Manny?
Yeah, this exceeded my expectations. I had a really good time with this movie. It was a lot of fun. It was well done, well acted. Action was thoroughly enjoyable, and yeah, the characters are fun. Like I said, I'm just gonna sing the Frenchman's praises all night long. Love him. Yeah.
Nice. Awesome. So, now it's time to rate this thing. Manny, what are you feeling?
It's a 3.
A 3.
Yeah.
Okay.
I went in expecting a 1,
Mm-hmm.
and so it got a 3.
Nice.
It's probably not a movie that I would revisit often.
Mhm.
The only problem is, this is what I'll say, is if this was 20, 30 years ago and I
Yeah.
saw this on TV, I would watch it.
Yeah.
Now that doesn't exist, I'm not sure I would choose to watch it on a streamer.
Yeah.
Unless I'm scrolling through and can't find anything to pique my interest
Mm-hmm.
and it comes up, I'd be like, I could watch that again.
Yeah.
So I had a good time. I just don't see myself seeking out a rewatch on it
Right.
when I have so many films at my fingertips to choose from.
Yeah. it's tough. Like you have like 90 something years of Oscars and Oscar nominees and winners, that are readily available
Yes,
for the most part. Obviously not everything, but yeah, it's tough.
it is.
Sometimes you do just have to put on a 3 or a leprechaun.
Ah, there we go.
When you made that face, I knew I had to say it.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. So yeah, it's a 3. What did you give it?
Nice. I also gave it a 3.
Nice.
It's solid. I would never say that I had a bad time watching this. I
Totally.
enjoyed it.
Awesome.
Perfect. So with that, that wraps us up. Thank you everyone for watching and or listening to our little podcast. Again, thank you to Terri Hadwin for coming on and joining us for this episode. It was a lot of fun to get that like fresh perspective.
Yeah.
Like firsthand, instead of getting it through notes for our audience. And with that, if you would like to support us at all, we're on social media. We're on Facebook at Small Town Big Screen, Instagram at smalltownbigscreen.pod. We're on Reddit at stbs_podcast. And if you would like to reach out to us by email, we're available at smalltownbigscreen.pod@gmail.com. So with that, I'm Kyle Robertson.
I'm Manny Manuel. Adios.